How's it going, everybody? I hope you had a great weekend. Jumping into Monday's news, got a ton of stuff to talk about. That's why I'm starting just a few minutes early today because I just couldn't wait. I already have everything ready to go, and I want to get to talking. I'm joined by absolutely nobody because nobody wants to do anything today, which I guess is fair because the only news that anyone wants to talk about, evidently, is the LA riots. So, I mean, that's the news. The news is LA riots, LA riots. Oh, and LA riots. Not really. As I titled this video, I think this is just a distraction. I was looking into other news that we have for the day, and I feel like there's a lot of really important news. But of course, everyone's talking about what's going on with the LA riots, which sure, yeah, it's a massive story, but I think it's a story that is being propped up. I think it's one that is being created. I don't think these riots sprouted up because of ICE raids in LA. I think they were planned, and we were just waiting for them to sprout up. I've talked about this on the show a few times. Are we going to be seeing riots? Are we going to be seeing a Summer of Love 2.0? I wasn't sure that we were going to, but I don't know. After this weekend, maybe we will start to see more stuff like this. It just kind of depends. There's a lot of people that are disheartened, a lot of people that are bored. A lot of people. I mean, I live in California, and I was happy to find out in a way that it's not just me struggling to find work or find not just work, but work that is actually you know good enough to support what I want to do in California. And I have found that a lot of my friends, if not most of my friends, are having a very hard time finding work or finding gainful employment in California, to the point where all of my friends live with their family. There's a few here and there that live out on their own, but they basically live for work. They work nonstop 24/7. They don't have a life outside of work. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So I think a lot of it is it's not just immigration. I think a lot of people are just fed up with the way California is run. um, that's what a lot of these riots are, and that's probably why Gavin Newsom and the mayor of LA aren't doing anything, because this is all by design. They want you disheartened and broken so that you go and cause crime out in the street. That's why they don't arrest these people causing crime, because that's what they want. They want you to be one of these criminals. But let's see. So let's get into some of these actual stories going about the riots. What do I want to pull up first? Let's see. Let's pull up Gavin Newsom's Twitter. We'll talk about his Twitter account because this has been fun. So Gavin Newsom, governor of California, and he has this pinned to his X account right now. The president of the United States just called for the arrest of a sitting governor. This is a day I hoped I would never see in America. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. This is the line we cannot cross as a nation. This is an unmistakable step toward authoritarianism. So let's see this clip. Let me check the volume. I don't know how loud it is. So brace yourselves. Oh, wait, let me. Boop.
Terrible job. Look, I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows. All you have to do is look at the little railroad he's building. It's about 100 times over budget. We're putting a flagpole over there. Under budget. I always do under budget.
Like that little dig at the end.
Oh,
Are they people ISIS trying to deport, or are they professional agitators?
The people that are causing the problem are professional agitators. They're insurrectionists. They're bad people. They should be in jail. Thank you.
No, so I completely agree with Donald Trump. These are, at this point, from the things that I was looking up, this is very well could be insurrectionist behavior. The Democrats seem to have set this up. I mean, I saw a video going around. I might be able to pull it up while we're sitting here. But pallets of bricks. Let me see if I can find it. I should have had this pull up. Pallets of bricks that were delivered outside an ICE facility a day before the protest started. Let's see. Uh, okay, yeah, I have this. So, what Donald Trump's talking about, and we'll go back to Gavin Newsom's Twitter. What Donald Trump is talking about here is if you go here, we'll go on over to Deep News. Pallets of cinder blocks used as weapons found near ICE facility in Paramount amid protest. So this is June. Oh, God damn it. Okay, well this is a different story. Let me go back. Okay, I saw a few things though. So let's see. Let me pull up. Go over here. Which one is it? I have everything all jumbled around. Um, is it this one? Nope. Okay. From Natalie Winters. That's the one I need to pull up. Okay, so Natalie Winters shares this on X. Anti-ICE rioters in Los Angeles are being organized by the by the Coalition for the Humane Immigrant Rights of Los Angeles, SHIRLA. SHIRLA is funded by Act Blue. And looking into this, and that is absolutely true. So the main group organizing these so-called protests that are turning into riots are organized as usual. This is a common thing that happens. The protests are being organized by a group that happens to be funded by Act Blue, one of Democrats' main vectors for gathering money. What a coincidence. What a coincidence that is. Should it surprise anyone? I don't think it really should surprise anyone. So, advocacy group at the heart of the anti Oh, I remember what I did last time. I unplugged my camera last time. This is so stupid. I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, 1 second. I don't have anyone here with me today anyway, so no one can talk while I'm sitting here trying to figure stupid shit out on my computer. Okay, all right, back to it. Refresh this. Go back to my other camera. Now it won't go back to the other camera. Really? I know you guys can still hear me. We're gonna go back to Gavin Newsom's tweets in a second because his tweets are absolutely retarded. I was gonna ask where are you, and I can't hear you. You can hear me. You can hear me. Don't lie. I was just silent for a second. I'm trying to fix my camera because it's being absolutely retarded. Uh, why won't it switch? Okay, that's weird. Let me open back up OBS. My camera is being a little retarded. That's fine. That happens. Okay. Uh, why is it? It's being very dim. Activate. Oh, hello. Oh, now you get to see my fucking dirty room though. No, let's not do that. Deactivate. I don't know why it's giving me the business. It's been fine, and then all of a sudden it doesn't want to be fine. Uh, settings. No, let's okay. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing this. It's all broken. I would like my camera. I don't want to just talk with a screen. It doesn't feel right. Um, I don't know what's going on with this. Okay, well, I guess no fucking camera today. I don't know. Hello, everybody. Hello. Yeah, everyone. Of course, everyone comes in after my fucking camera breaks. Great. Love it. I love when that happens. Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm trying to fix this, but it's being absolutely retarded. Retarded in the actual sense. It's being mentally retarded, and I don't know why. Camera. Switch to that camera. It's not switching cameras. Why is it not switching cameras? I don't understand. Oh, wait. Okay. Deactivate. I blame Sean. Blame Sean for this because Sean set me up with this background thing. I'm trying to use the background thing to remove my background, and and it's just causing problems today now. 1 second. Okay. If it wasn't retarded, wait, what are you saying? If it wasn't retarded, what? Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm just pulling out the regular camera because I don't know what's going on with it. Let's do fit the screen. Oh, why is it angled down now? That's because I was fucking with it, huh? There we go. Very lame. Let me. Hey, I'm trying to edit it. What the fuck? Everything is just going wrong today. Uh. What the hell? Okay, that's fine. Uh. Okay, that works, I guess. Fucking stupid bullshit. Um. And that was not Rumble's fault. That was absolutely 100% OBS's. Oh, now it's what is it doing now? Oh, god damn it. Hang on. Now I have fixed it. It is Sean's fault, 100%. I blame Sean for the background. For the background not working. It's happened a few times now where the background just decides to give up on life. So I'm just gonna delete it, I guess, because fucking it's I can't have it doing that during the show. It's not worth it. Um, TJ's just now waking up. He's 15 minutes late. Look at him. Actually, technically 20 minutes late because I started 5 minutes early today. But it's fine. I'm having fucking technical difficulties anyway. So anyway, I'm just gonna go back into it. Let's go back to Gavin Newsom's tweets. So Donald Trump's talking about arresting Gavin Newsom, which if that happened, that'd be pretty interesting. Honestly, he probably should because Gavin Newsom, they need to arrest all these governors that are just continuing to facilitate sanctuary state status. It was a tongue twister a little bit. State status. But so yeah, he's complaining that Donald Trump has called in the National Guard. Just quick update for those of you that are coming in after my camera fucking broke. Donald Trump has called in the National Guard to LA to quell the riots. And Gavin Newsom's complaining because Donald Trump said that he'd be fine with Tom Homan arresting him, which, again, if Tom Homan wants to go arrest these sanctuary state governors and stuff, yeah, go ahead. That'd be hilarious. Donald Trump admits he will arrest a sitting governor simply because he ran for office. What? Trump, what crime did Newsom commit? He ran for governor.
Just in time. It's still simmering a little bit, but not very much. Yeah, please.
Have you gotten...
A crime has he committed? I think his primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job. What he's done to that state is like what Biden did to this country. And that's pretty bad. It's the wrong philosophy. Just in time.
Okay, that's ridiculous. Donald Trump is clearly not saying a legitimate crime. Donald Trump needs to be careful with his fucking words, like usual. Donald Trump is not saying he committed a crime. What he's saying is that it should be a crime what he has done to this state. Because Gavin Newsom has absolutely stolen from this state, run it into the ground, is continuing to defy federal law. It is entirely within the federal government's jurisdiction to deport illegal immigrants, and Gavin Newsom is outright going against that, and has been. They've had multiple laws recently that were trying to reinforce that fact. Yeah, we'll pull this story up. But so I guess Gavin Newsom is now suing the Trump administration, or suing Donald Trump for taking control of the National Guard, which again, I had a discussion with my buddy, and we were talking about how apparently the governor and the president both need to agree to hand over, command of the National Guard. And I was looking into it, and that doesn't seem to be true. It seems like in times of great unrest, when law enforcement can't quell unrest, the president is allowed to call upon the National Guard of a state. So this is something that Donald Trump is apparently allowed to do. So you send your troops here without fuel, food, water, or a place to sleep. Here they are being forced to sleep on the floor, piled on top of one another. If anything is treating our troops disrespectfully, it is you, Donald Trump. They're in California. Gavin Newsom's the governor. If Gavin Newsom has such a bad fucking, what's it called? If Donald Trump if Gavin Newsom has such a problem with what Donald Trump's doing, he could find places for these guys, but he rather get the photo op, be like, look what Donald Trump's doing, and it's like, well, they're in your state, buddy. You could you could help, but again, Gavin Newsom doesn't want to help. That's why they're there. Let's see, what other tweets does he have? He's just been tweeting about it because, of course, he's going to tweet about it instead of actually do anything. Let's see. There were other tweets I wanted to see, but he keeps tweeting, so now it's getting buried. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have a tweet from JD Vance. Let's pull that one up. Gavin Newsom's tweets are whatever. Word vomit. It is Sean's fault though. It is absolute Sean. I'm gonna yell at Sean. Sean's gonna hear it from me. Don't worry. Let's see. Advocacy group. No, we pulled that one up. Let me close those. So I already know that we had those pulled up. I mean, the riots are crazy. A lot of the footage coming out from that is crazy. I've seen a lot of stuff. That's what I forgot. I forgot to pull up some of the stuff on my my Instagram because there was a lot of Instagram videos that I had seen as well. Let's see. Pull this one up. TJ said he'll be joining, but we'll see. We'll see about that. Allie, I didn't do anything with. I just read Allie's chat. Allie, I didn't do anything with the sound. The sound was fine. I was just trying to fix my camera, so I wasn't talking because I was focused on fixing it. I should have kept talking because you guys clearly can't tell here when my camera's off. That's part of the issue of not having the camera. That's why I wanted to have the camera. But I like having the apps. I guess I don't need the absent background for videos like this. I more need it for like video games. It's better for the video games. Anyway. Let's see. So JD Vance tweeted, people who were already violating the law are only violating the law because President Trump started enforcing the law. This is the logic of Newsom and his stooges. So yes, Gavin Newsom and the mayor of LA, of course, are blaming the riots on Donald Trump. The riots are Donald Trump's fault. It's Donald Trump's fault for trying to enforce federal law and force immigration laws. It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump's fault. TJ said he's setting up F my life. TJ, you would have been. Look, he thought we were doing it 1:30 maybe. TJ, the show starts at 1. The only time I start at 1:30 is when I don't feel like doing the show. Really. there's levels to this. Okay. This is how you guys know. Okay. This is how you guys know if Tyler actually wants to do the show today or not. Is the show starting at 1 p.m.? If the show is starting at 1 p.m., then Tyler really wanted to do it today. If the show is starting at 1:30, then Tyler wanted to do it today, but woke up late and scrambled to find news. If Tyler didn't do the show, he was either busy or didn't feel like doing it. I don't get paid enough to do this as a full-time job yet, okay? So sometimes I slack on it. It is what it is. But anyway, so this is from Rapid Response 47. Mayor of LA blames immigration enforcement operations in which dangerous illegals were taken into custody for the chaos that was allowed to transpire in LA. Wait, what? Okay, I feel like this is a typo. I'm pretty sure it meant to say that they blame Trump. If immigration raids had not happened here, we would not have the disorder that went on last night. Shameful. California is an absolute disorder. I'm not sure what she means by this. By California wouldn't be in disorder if Trump didn't do this. That doesn't make any sense considering California is already in absolute disarray. So while TJ is getting his butt up here, TJ, you get to pause for a moment because I'm doing a 1775 coffee ad. Oh, come on. It's giving me the business. Never mind. TJ, come back here. Come back here, TJ. TJ, you're late to the show today, sir.
I know. Dude, Graveyard has my sleep schedule all upside down. Like, woke up super early in the morning, tried to take a little nap, had my alarm set for like noon, and apparently I snoozed it for like an hour. So, my bad.
Well, lucky for us, TJ, that the ads appear to be working now. So still haven't tried 1775 coffee yet? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped, only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom coffee for clean energy and last laser focus, no crash. All single origin and small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's political opinions, and a black 1775 tumbler that says, I don't take life advice or caffeine from a woke sea witch. $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. Start your day with coffee that actually backs what you believe. What do you believe, TJ? Should we go arrest Gavin Newsom for not helping with these riots and for continuing to perpetuate a state in which goes against direct federal law and protects illegal immigrants?
So I don't think so. I saw a clip of Tom Holman saying that like he doesn't think that Governor Newsom has like crossed the threshold of actually impeding. I think him his inaction isn't quite action, but I think that at some point he's
I think
going
he's towing that
across the
line.
threshold, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and hi Fox. I can't read that, Fox. Anyway, well I mean that's
Yeah,
Flaya.
I don't think that arresting him at this time would quite be warranted unless something's happened within the past couple of hours.
I don't know. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with all these sanctuary state governors getting arrested if they continue to perpetuate it. If they're not actively helping ICE agents and they're actually doing the opposite. I mean, here in California, we will purposefully not tell ICE when illegal immigrants are being released from police custody. They'll put stays on them, like, hey, that guy you picked up, he's an illegal, hold him for a little bit, we'll come by and pick him up. And then it'll be like, oh, sorry, you guys got here a little too late, we let him go. And they do that on purpose. All they have to do is hold them a little longer.
Yeah, I mean, releasing them, I think, is taking action
That's what I mean, but that's at the direct action or direct directive of the governor. Gavin Newsom has told them to do that. And there's been multiple laws that they have tried to pass to reinforce that.
yeah.
So it goes directly against the federal government's jurisdiction. But and then so even besides that, you have the mayor of LA, which in this clip I was about to play, you have impeccable timing for being late.
Hey,
This clip,
it's never late. No,
I just got to mess with you. No, technically you're not late. The show starts in 4 minutes on some some days depending. But no, so I was gonna play this clip. Gavin Newsom and the mayor of LA are blaming the riots on Donald Trump because, of course, California is a bastion of peace when Donald Trump isn't sending ICE here to deport people.
Right.
It's a bastion of peace. There's nothing ever going on here. Nothing ever is going wrong. Anyway, let's see this clip. Shit, I have so many windows open. Here we go.
I just have to say that if you dial back time and go to Friday, if immigration raids had not happened here, we would not have the disorder that went on last night. I will tell you that it is peaceful now, but we do not know where and when the next raids will be. That is the concern because people in the city have a rapid response network. If they see ICE, they go out and they protest. And so it's just a recipe for pandemonium that is completely unnecessary. Nothing was happening here. Los Angeles was peaceful before Friday. I just have to say that if you dial back time and
So I just want to say, so here where I live, we have scanners that literally accounts that do nothing but go around town following like the police scanner. And they don't catch everything. They try to catch what they can. But I was watching or reading the Los Angeles scanner because obviously they're going to be active during this, and someone was talking about one of the car fires that happened over the weekend, and the Los Angeles scanner replied to them. They said, "Which one? Car fires happen daily in that area."
Huh.
And it's like, yeah, because California and LA is just a bastion of peace when Trump's not here deporting people.
But no matter what the news anchor wants to say about it, it's kind of a wasteland. 360.
That wasn't a news anchor. That was the mayor.
Oh, that's the mayor down there. I see.
She's the mayor. She's the mayor of LA.
Yeah.
She was also in charge of the Palisade fire response, by the way.
Jeez.
Anyway, so what was I going to bring up in regards to this? There was another point I wanted to make. So you had all these riots going on over the weekend, and then you have them complaining. And they were saying that Donald Trump, this wouldn't have happened if Donald Trump didn't come here and do these deportations, right? And it's like, yeah, sure, you're right to an extent. Maybe it wouldn't have been this big explosion of people out in the streets. It would have just been continuing to see what we've been seeing, which is a slow boil of crime getting worse and worse.
Right.
So
And
it's
also, Trump wouldn't have had to send ICE agents in for deportations if they wouldn't have allowed, you know, illegal immigrants into the country in the first place. So, like, how far back do you want to go on, you know, push and blame, right?
Well, yeah, and that's another point I wanted to bring up today was like you have all these politicians in California complaining that Donald Trump is coming in with ICE and now taking control of the National Guard, and it's like, well, he wouldn't have to do any of these things if you weren't allowing all these people just to come through unfettered and then protecting them and letting them stay here.
Right.
And Tim Pool talked about it. It's gotten to the point now in places like California that we've allowed these illegals to be here for so long and en masse that it's not even the illegals that are protesting here. It's actual American citizens that are first generation descendants of all these illegals that have come over.
Right.
So it's like they are American citizens, but Temple was playing videos on his channel earlier today. We see tons of videos of these protesters waving Mexican flags, and then they're stomping on the American flag, saying "That's not my flag," and then lighting it on fire. And then they chant red, white, green, and then they say "That's my flag." And these people are in California right now.
Do you think that it should be a crime to burn the American flag?
No, I don't think it should be a crime to burn the American flag. I just think it shows where your loyalties lie. If you come to a foreign country or are a citizen of a foreign country, and then you start waving the flag of another country while you're still there, and then you start like you're actively going against that country. Is my point.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to Canada, start burning the Canadian flag, and be like, nope, American flag, all mine, but I'm staying here in California. Or sorry, Canada. You don't go to Canada, same place really,
Right.
but but I'm not going to go to Canada with an American flag and be like, this is America now, I represent America even though I live in Canada.
Right.
Like that but that's essentially what these people are doing. That and it's really terrible to see, but I've seen it happening over the years. I've lived in California my whole life. It's just getting worse and worse. I'm the minority here, TJ.
I believe it.
No, I am. I was one of the very few white kids at my high school.
That's kind yeah.
But it is what it is, I guess. But we have so many things to talk about. Before you joined, I was talking about how a lot of these protests are being organized by a group called Shirla, and this Shirla group is actually CHIRLA is the acronym.
Okay.
But it's basically a group that is all about protecting illegal immigrants and just immigrant rights and stuff like that. And they're actually the ones organizing a lot of these protests. And guess who they're funded by? Act Blue.
Wow.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
So I was talking about that before you got in. I feel like that was some context you probably should have been aware of.
I didn't hear that yet, so thank you for that.
Yeah, it's I just brought it up. And then the title of today's video, because I'm not going to talk about the protest all day, is that the LA riots are being set up to distract people. Because they are absolutely being set up. There's no reason for these protests to actually be happening. People, I talked about it earlier. People are just bored. They're upset with the state of California, and they're looking for a vector to channel that anger.
Yeah, I think that they're like, I don't know, Californians or the people in LA will like find any reason they can to riot. Like, did you see the Air Jordans shop being broken into while the riots were going on and stuff like that?
No, but I'm not surprised. But like I said, people are just. It's. I don't think. I don't think it really has anything to do with the immigration stuff at this point. Like, yeah, sure, you see a lot of people out in the streets with Mexican flags and stuff like that, and they're there for the immigration stuff. But then you see the people looting and stuff like that, and the people are looting. They're looting because California is in such a state of affairs that everyone is struggling. Everyone I talk to is struggling. People that are out of work can't find work. The people that are working have no life outside of work and still can't pay for things.
Hmm.
Like California is just in deep shit, and the people here fucking hate it. And I think that's a big reason why you see looting en masse, because protests happen all the time, all over the country. We don't always hear about it because nothing actually happens.
Right.
But they don't turn into riots because these other places aren't in such shitty disarray like California is. That's why you see riots in California or riots in New York, because the cities are absolute fucking garbage.
Yeah. I mean, the goal is to riot. Like there's a portion of the people who are there to riot, and they just need the protests to, I don't know,
Yep.
basically put up the smoke screen that enables them to start destroying stuff.
So this is breaking just this morning. So Gavin Newsom and the state of California are going to now sue the Trump administration for unlawfully deploying the state's National Guard. They claim that it's unlawful. But when I was looking into it, the president has full authority to call upon the National Guard of any state if law enforcement is unable to quell violence.
Yeah.
So Donald Trump has full jurisdiction over this. He has full jurisdiction over the immigration, and he has full jurisdiction over defending states. So if a state is unable to defend itself, he will take control.
So I did see that there's some, section 10.234 of whatever it is that he's using to justify it. Does what's the point in just offering the National Guard and having having the governor accept it or whatever, when it seems like at any point, like, you don't have to offer it, you can just deploy it. So why even
It's
offer
it's it's more
it?
like a respect thing. Like the federal government isn't supposed to overstep states' rights and state rule, right? Like the states are supposed to be able to govern themselves. But when you
Right.
get to a point where the state is not governing itself properly, that's when the federal government's supposed to step in. So it's more like a respect thing. Like here we're giving you the respect to at least allow us to do this, but we will do it one way or another.
And I guess, like, because I'm seeing people bring up January 6th again because it's the only thing that they got. Um, but it seems like when Trump was offering National Guard to, like, Muriel Bowser or whatever, it was almost being done in a preemptive way, and this is done, like, after seeing that they are needed because of the rioting taking place. So I can see a level of difference between the two, I guess.
Yeah. And Shitty Gov says, Tyler, they'll say you deserve to be killed for saying the N word, or at least beaten up, but we are expected to defend people burning our flag because free speech. I talked about that with Joey recently, and I've talked about that with friends recently as well. A lot of people, a lot of our adversaries will use the fact that we have the virtue of freedom of speech. They will use that against us. They will use the freedom of their own speech against us, and it's just a reality that we have to live with. The only thing you can combat that with is better speech. So if someone wants to beat me up for the things that I say, that's why you stay strapped. That's all I have to say.
And I feel like Tim does a pretty good job of explaining how he used to be an advocate for, like, free speech for everybody, but at this point, he only supports free speech for those who are going to support his free speech.
I fully agree. You do not yeah, you do not protect the rights of someone who would not protect those same rights for you. That is just the simple fact of that should be a fact of survival. Like,
Right.
you do not protect someone that would not protect you if the roles were reversed.
It's a valid stance to
Yeah,
take.
and I don't mean like incapable. Like, if I mean, if they were capable of protecting you, obviously, like, we don't have to get into the semantics of it anyway. But so no, I think that this should be just thrown out on, like, Donald Trump has authority to do this. Like,
That's
you can complain about it, but he has the authority to do it.
right. But the thing is that, like, the courts are so compromised that, like, you can indict a ham sandwich or whatever, right?
Yeah,
But, like, there are, like, judges and whatnot that are crazy enough to like it should be thrown out, but I can foresee some lower courts or whatever
Well, I mean,
set like
we've seen similar
setting.
recently, right?
Yeah,
But anyway, I've already talked about this for like 45 minutes. I got a few more to move through. Let's see, because there was a lot about these riots that happened over the weekend. I just there's only so much I want to talk about it because it's like what am I going to add to it other than people are fucking stupid and Donald Trump needs. I'm glad is that Donald Trump isn't waiting like he waited last time. He's like fuck it, National Guard. Because last
yeah.
time he waited and we saw massive violence and damage to cities. So
Yeah.
I rather him get in there now than later.
So I feel like there are kind of two aspects of it that,
Hey,
that
you were right though. You were right. Remember we were talking about are we going to see riots? I said no.
yeah, I was fully confident that this kind of stuff was going to happen. Now the the question is, does this like also happen throughout the rest of the country? I heard that when's Trump's birthday? Is it the 14th or the 18th or something like that?
I'm not
I,
sure.
I heard that there's like some website out there that is basically saying that there are going to be mass protests all over the country on Trump's birthday because of the deportations and stuff like that. And so, while this is, localized to California right now, they're attempting to make this their big issue that they're going to burn cities all over the country for. So we
Well, I
got
mean
we got about a week, and then
this is the one that they've been prepping for. That's why they've let all these illegals into the country over the past like entirety of my life and longer because they knew that this is an issue that they could bring up later down the road. It's like, hey, look, here's this big issue that everyone could rally behind because there's all these people in the country that you're friends with that will be affected by this.
yeah,
So they purposefully set it up, and then what's called a lot of people have been calling this for a while that immigration was going to be the next big issue that rallies people,
yep.
and it really has. And I mean, you have Flair in the chat. He said, "Tyler, what is with these Mexicans chanting that this is their land?" Because they believe that this is their land. They don't see the United States government as the authority. And that's why they're rioting, and that's why they're throwing rocks at these police cars because they don't think you have authority over them.
And that's
It's like what sorry TJ, it's like what Tim says. It's like if a fucking clown knocked at your door and they're like, "Hey, we're the clown police." Are you gonna like give them any respect? Like that's what these people are seeing the cops as right now. It's a bunch of fucking clown police.
yeah, and all these people who are like causing violence against officers, like what percentage of them are actually seeing consequences? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, the FBI is looking for that guy that was on that viral video now, throwing massive rocks at all those passing police cruisers.
I did see that, but like they also should have done like a pincer attack or whatever on the people who were on the bridge throwing stuff.
Yeah,
down.
that too. Yeah, that was crazy.
All
And then
of
they
those
set the
people
cars
should
on
get
fire. And yeah, no, there's a, but that's why the National Guard's being activated because Gavin Newsom and the mayor are ultimately in charge of all the law enforcement. And if law enforcement are given orders to stand down, they have to.
Yeah.
So if law enforcement isn't able to move in on the bridge, I mean, what can they do other than abandon their cars, and then that just causes more property damage that tax dollars have to go to? Because all the law enforcement have to get all their shit repaired, and where is that money going to come from? It's going to come from all the taxpayers. So everything from these riots are going to come from taxpayers. So
no, we'll see billions and billions worth of damages.
yeah,
But something
I'll just scroll through here because this is a long section of pictures while we talk about this.
Cool. Something I want to bring up is that like there's two sides to the level of law enforcement that's going on right now, because like you do still have like ICE is still trying to perform their operations, I'm assuming, and then you also have the National Guard that's like fighting off the rioters. And I don't know, I'm still formulating my thoughts on this, but like those are two, like basically two separate operations, right? And
Well, yeah, now it is because now they have to quell the riots while they also crack down on the illegal immigrants. Because California is one of the, I mean, we've talked about it. Texas and California account for 25% of all illegal immigrants. 25% each, not total from one
Oh
another.
wow.
Each, they both have 25.
Yeah.
So over half of the illegal immigrants in the country are just in two states.
it's it's infuriating because like ICE
Well,
should be able to just go in there and
and they should. And why aren't we seeing raids like this in, I don't know, Austin, Texas? Like why is Texas not getting raided like this? Again, this brings up what
I
I've talked
assume that
about
they
recently.
will.
Why are we not seeing raids in Republican states like Texas that also have just the same amount as illegals?
Why isn't local law enforcement in Texas being the one to
Exactly.
initiate deportations? Because
Yeah.
back like before the election, or back when Tom Holman or whatever was being asked who was going to, maybe it was Trump who was asked, but one of them said that, who's going to be the one to carry out this operations, and they were like, well, like these people are known to like the officers in the communities and stuff like that. Like this can be handled by local law enforcement, and so it almost seems like Texas would be somewhere that would handle it on their own, and California is somewhere that that Trump would have to like take action to make it happen.
You would think so, but we're not seeing that action in Texas.
And that's why I'm wondering, why isn't Texas taking action?
Right, and that's something that you and I have talked about. I've talked about this with Chris and Joey. Why are we not seeing Republican states going hard on immigration and other issues when they have the backing of the federal government now? Texas was going hard against the Biden administration. Arizona was going hard against the Biden administration. They literally set up an entire wall of fucking cargo containers that
Mm-hmm.
they were forced to remove. But like, where's that kind of action? Like, why are we not seeing that kind of action now, where we're just seeing busload after busload of immigrants being sent to airports and getting sent off?
Yeah, it almost seems like now that Trump's in office, they're like, all right, guys, we can stop fighting this. We can like someone
It,
else is going to take care of it.
it just seems like they had the resources during the Biden administration to bust people deeper into the country, but they don't have the resources now to send them out of the country. That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't. Do we have any update on the ICE arrests in California?
What
Um,
kind of update?
like how many illegal immigrants have been arrested,
Um, like
or
just from this weekend.
yeah, like I saw that I saw someone post that it was like 118 people, which is definitely not enough. But I feel like that was from at least a day or so ago, and so I'm just wondering if there's a an ongoing counter to figure out how many.
Let's find out.
And like how long is ICE going to be continuing this operation in California?
Shitty Gov said, I think they're waiting in Texas to sort out the cartel. I hope anyway. They're going to have a good plan to keep the cartel from running terrorist ops on U.S. soil. Yeah, I have another story to bring up about the cartels because I think they're prepping for things. And I also think that if Shitty Gov, I'm not saying that you believe that because I'm not sure that you do, but if that is the excuse, that's a fucking terrible one. Because the cartels aren't actively operating on U.S. soil, and if they are, then the military needs to be sent into Texas. When Texas pops off, it'll be huge. I wouldn't be surprised if we see fighter between ICE and cartels. Yep, I agree. There was a crazy white dude driving around LA in a van last night, running people over that was arrested eventually. No idea what caused that. Yeah, I was looking at a story about that too. The LA was crazy over the weekend, guys. There's so much shit going on over the weekend.
How long until you think we see a either an ICE officer or National Guard troop be killed
By cartel?
uh, by cartel or by a rioter or by a militia?
I don't think the National Guard. I don't think any service members will be killed by rioters, at least in the next couple of years. Uh, but as far as cartel, I wouldn't be surprised if we had at least a firefight by the end of the year.
That's a fair argument. I I think that I don't know. I just have this gut feeling that something's going to happen in LA. It's
Well, we'll see. I mean,
terrifying. I really
it's
hope not.
escalating.
But yeah, I think it's going to continue.
We'll see if the riots continue tonight. Because if they continue tonight, then that doesn't look good for the rest of the week. Because if
You're
they
saying
can,
it was just a weekend thing, then
it could have just been a weekend thing. Yeah. I don't see any numbers for the reporting on how many were detained
gotcha.
over the weekend.
Let's keep an ear to the ground for it because I do want to know, how successful the operation ends up being.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see. Oh shit. Damn it. Okay, I had a Alex Jones video. Okay, so I wanted to pull this up because I'm getting annoyed by people on the right. Let's see. Alex Jones. So a lot of people on the right are complaining about people like Maxine Waters because she tried to go to an ICE facility unannounced. So how do you feel about a U.S. Congressperson going to an ICE facility unannounced, TJ?
Um, I don't initially have a problem with someone doing it as long as they're following, the 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 process, the decorum, you know, as I mean, showing up unannounced is
So I'll just
for sure.
I don't mean to lead you on. I'll just come out and say it. Congress Congress has full authority
Now?
to show up to any federal building unannounced.
He's
Okay.
coming out, guys.
Hi, Joey.
I just
Is
heard
that
him
a
coming
statement of
out.
fact?
That's the first thing I heard.
Sub Joey.
What we're talking about is how I'm frustrated with a bunch of Republicans because a bunch of Republicans, including Nick Sartor, Alex Jones, are complaining about Maxine Waters, who tried to force her way into an ICE facility and called. So she this is the part that you should be angry about. She did call on elected officials to join the violent protest, but a lot of people are complaining that she showed up to these. She's done it before, but she showed up to the ICE facility unannounced, and she wanted to basically do a wellness check on the facility. And I was looking into it. And Congress has full authority to do that. They can show up unannounced whenever they want and go in and search these buildings. They're allowed to do that. So Donald Trump's administration denying them, and they have been denying them since he came in, is actually completely unlawful. And Donald Trump's been doing it since he got in.
Interesting.
So when Congress shows up to these ICE facilities, they're supposed to let them in immediately. They don't need to give them due notice or anything. So I just found that interesting that a lot of people are defending Trump on this when federal law dictates that Congress is allowed to go and do this. But let's see what Maxine Waters said, because there's been a few elected officials that have called for people to join these protests, which are turning into riots. So.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public appeal.
I need to get in.
Congresswoman, how should the city of LA and the state of California react to this? What's the smart play here?
All of the elected officials in this city should be on the street. The mayor should be on the street. The city council should be on the street. Everybody should be on the street. All of the state elected officials. All of us in Congress. We're supposed to be in Congress tomorrow, but I want you to know I'm trying to stop him from getting richer and richer on crypto. The more money he has, the more powerful he has,
What?
the more he will elect
The more
people.
powerful
So
he
we
has.
got a lot of work to do.
Is she talking about Elon?
No, she's talking about Trump and the Trump coin or whatever.
Oh my God. It's so stupid.
Hold on, I gotta see something.
So
Your
like,
city's burning, and you're like, I don't want Trump's crypto to go up.
so what are they protesting? Does anyone know what they're protesting? Like TJ, what if someone asked you, if someone in your family came up and asked you, what are they protesting in LA right now?
I would say that they're protesting against mass deportations. Like that's the narrative, but like they're protest. I said it earlier. They're protesting for the sake of justifying rioting.
Yeah.
And
But that's what I mean. Like when you actually break it down, like what are these people protesting? And it's like, oh, they're protesting illegal citizens being removed from the country.
right.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, apparently now we know that they're protesting crypto.
Well, I mean, Maybe they're just being fucking paid to do it. Maybe that's why they're doing it over the weekend. They wanted some extra cash from that Act Blue money. I was talking about that before you joined, Joey. I'm sure you were busy, but one of the main huh?
I said
And crying.
busy
Yes, I know the unfortunate news. But so there's an organization named Chirla, CHIRLA, and they're an immigrant rights group, and they've been organizing all these they've been helping organize these protests. And guess who they're funded by? They're funded by Act Blue, of course. So it could be that they're just a bunch of paid agitators.
Say
That's
George
exactly
Soros.
what Trump said. Trump said that these are a bunch of insurrectionists and paid agitators.
Well, whenever they have supposed protests in New York this Saturday, I'm going to go there because apparently that's how you get on certain shows.
Yes, on certain shows, and you don't get canceled for more famous guests.
Yeah, I got to try really hard to get on Benny Johnson's show, Mister. I'm decked out in military gear, doing photo op stuff. You know, he's getting half chub doing all that stuff.
So we're gonna move on to my cartel story because Shitty Gov is talking about it in the chat. So let's see what he said. The the cartels have been in the U.S. soil since the 90s. Even black gangs won't F with them. That web is tangled and dirty. I do believe that is why the feds are waiting. Cartel has people everywhere. There's cartel in my tiny rural county in Nebraska. They are everywhere. President of Mexico is working with the cartels most likely, and then she's calling for Mexicans to riot in the U.S. That's that's great. So apparently the Mexican president is calling for people to riot. That's lovely.
Yeah, because they don't want to pay remittance taxes on those people coming back.
Right.
It's crazy. It's not your typical foreign invasion, but it is a foreign invasion. I mean, I know that's why some people are like, you can't say it's a foreign invasion. They're not like coming here and trying. I mean, it's
look
a
at some of the videos.
Invasion.
All you see is Mexican flags and people burning American flags, saying that's not my flag. There's tons of videos of people saying that's not my flag.
Did you see that video that Raymond G. Stanley Jr. Tweeted today?
No, can you send it to me?
It was I think I liked it on. I could share the screen. Give me a second.
Okay.
It was an older Cat Williams video.
Oh, gotcha.
Wait, I gotta do it on this computer. It was an older Cat Williams video. I think it was like 2011. So this is a good sign for Cat Williams to know that he's always been like, pro-America.
So Shitty Gov went on to say, he said the Mexican government and the cartels are the same thing. The feds should acknowledge that and disregard whatever the government of Mexico says about anything. I agree. Flair said, good point. The cartels killed like 6 politicians before a major election, and this lady showed up. I don't really know how that works with Congress showing up to ICE. Looking into it earlier, Flair, and Congress members are fully allowed to show up to ICE facilities.
Can we just say that, like, even though like she should have been let in, the optics of her getting that door slammed in her face and like walking away in like with that.
Well, that was partly why she was there, was to get clips, right? So
right,
yeah.
But I think it's.
I got to be honest. When you consider the way that the left does everything illegal, it makes me, and I know this is going back to the whole the pendulum swings thing, but like it really makes you hard. It makes it like you don't really care, honestly. That now Donald Trump is going to break not follow the law sometimes. It's like, I don't understand why one side needs to be told they can't hit below the belt and the other side constantly does it.
Yep. Well, and then I was talking about shortly before you joined, they're claiming that Donald Trump taking control of the National Guard is somehow unlawful. When it's absolutely not. They aren't quelling violent protests, violent riots. And if the state isn't going to quell that, then the federal government has to. That's exactly why the federal government is there. When the state government fails, the federal government steps in. That's how it's always been.
And it's also a reason why I've said that this administration has to do everything by the book. They do have to have like the legal precedent set for the actions that they're taking, because they are going to be sued every step of the way. So,
all right, this is a minute clip. Cat Williams stand up in Phoenix in 2011.
Okay.
It censors the curse word, so you don't need to worry about YouTube.
Oh, lovely.
No, this ain't Mexico. It used to be Mexico, mother. And now it's Phoenix, goddammit. USA. I bet you don't leave here and go to Mexico, mother. Motherfuckers think they can live in this country and then still be allegiance to another country. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what's so
He brings the fucking eagle over there, which is funny because Nick has an eagle on his side.
Puts a eagle statue right in front of him.
No,
Yeah,
so I love that, right? Because that's absolutely true. If you come to another country and you plan to stay in that country, then support that country and pay allegiance to that country. I'm not going to go to Italy and start raising the flag of fucking like Belgium or something. Be like, oh, I am Belgian. This is Belgian territory now. My house is Belgian.
I am Belgium.
It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
Those lovely Belgians.
Yeah, if you love Belgium so much, go back to Belgium. Like it's
Hey,
it's fucking stupid. That should go for anyone though. You go to Mexico, you pay allegiance to Mexico. You're not like I don't get this where like you just move to another country and you're like, I'm not going to assimilate. I'm going to force them to do everything the way I did it back in my home country.
I mean, it's one thing to be like proud of your heritage. That's perfectly fine for everybody. It's another thing to, be destroying the country on behalf of them or whatever.
Right. I don't know, but I do agree with that clip. You have to pay allegiance to the country that you are living in. Like that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I want to talk about the cartels because things are escalating over there, guys. I think so. This story doesn't say it, but I personally think that this story shows that that the cartels are prepping for conflict with the United States because they have been what's called enlisting Colombian mercenaries now.
Colombia.
So dangerous new hired guns have arrived on the battlefield in Mexico with the cartel's wars. The Colombian mercenaries, former combatants in Colombia's longstanding internal conflict, are increasingly being lured to Mexico by criminal groups to train hitmen, build bombs, and fight bloody turf battles. 11 Colombians were arrested in Michoacan state last week in connection to a roadside bomb attack that killed 8 members of a Mexican National Guard. Colombia's foreign ministry said all of the detained men had once been soldiers. Colombian President Gustavo Petro said on X that a cartel known as Los Reyes had hired the Colombian mercenaries to confront the Mexican state. So you have Mexican cartels that are actively going against the Mexico government. You have a bunch of cartels in Mexico too. It's not just one cartel. But that's the issue, right? We have legitimate military forces that are going against the government of our neighbor, and we're just like, what's going on in Ukraine? Like, it's just wild to me. It's wild to me. And it does worry me because I think conflict with the cartels is inevitable, whether we see it in the Trump administration or future administration. The cartels will combat us on a scale that no one wants to see. So it's just a matter of when, not if. And I don't like that. I don't like stories like this. The reason I bring stories like this up is because it's to show that the cartels aren't just some gang, like some basic gang in LA. Like, they are a militarized group that are a part of all the worst things in the world. And that is on our border. This is our neighbor. We just let this happen in our fucking side of the world. It's crazy. This shouldn't be allowed to happen in a neighboring country of ours.
I mean, can you see any difference between like a terrorist organization and and these cartels?
No.
Well, no, that's why they were labeled terrorist organizations. But even besides them being terrorist organizations, even if they weren't labeled terrorist organizations, they should be labeled a military force.
Wait, say that again? Organizations?
Organization. The organization should be at least be labeled a military organization because it's look at them. Look at these guys. Look at the dudes that they're hiring. They're decked out in military gear. If you look at the weaponry that the cartels have fucking tanks and APCs. Like, they have legitimate weaponry. They have some of the cartels over there have a stronger military than some countries. Like,
hello, Tyler. I'm Cronus from Tim's Discord. Say hi. Hello.
Who?
This guy just.
Oh, hello, Cronus. How's it going?
Are you Zeus's father?
Are you Zeus's father?
The Titan of
Or
Time. That was my last dog's name.
what?
Yeah, my last dog, the black lab I had before my golden retriever. His name was Kronos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But what's called? Do you guys have anything to add to the story? I just wanted to bring it up real quick because I thought it was crazy. I mean, it says the phenomenon highlights the growing intensity of Mexico's cartel warfare, as well as the expanding role of the Colombian combatants in conflicts globally. Apparently, the Colombian combatants have been found in a few places, like Ukraine and Yemen as well.
Just people who want to destroy.
They're just mercenaries. Yeah, they're just getting hired from multiple states.
I'm just curious if this is like a new development or if the cartels have been doing this for quite some time. And
this is new.
Seeing, well, I know that the arrest is new, but like, how long have these people been employed by the cartels? How long?
No, that's what I'm saying. That this is a recent thing. This is like within the last year or so that they started doing this.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it seems like they're gearing up for something.
It said there was reporting in 2021 that they had 26 Colombian guerrilla fighters,
Okay.
but that's not the same as actual soldiers.
Gorilla.
Gorilla.
They're a terrorist. I don't know how they're not a terrorist. I asked a leftist friend, quote unquote, leftist, what's the word, acquaintance, like a year and a half ago. I was like, in what world are they not a terrorist organization? And they're like, oh, well, the things they do don't have a political aim. I'm like, what?
What?
I was like, what? I was like, brother, like, give me some of that California Kush. What are you smoking, dude?
Yeah, wait, yeah. How are
I was
they?
like, how is lobbying politicians to have open borders so you can run your human trafficking scheme not a political thing? How is making, how is it, bro? That's the only one that really even matters. But like the fact that they're literally our border. They're on our border country. This is Mexico, maybe even more so than Canada. There's a one place where a lot of Americans will go into for vacation. So we have these people on our border, right? They're basically militant. They're basically a small army, and they've hijacked the Mexican government.
Basically, they are.
They are, yeah.
They're a paramilitary group.
They own most of the Mexican government, and I know a lot of our politicians are owned, but they're owned in a different type of way. Like the Mexican politicians are owned in a, you better do this or else you're going to be found dismembered in like 3 different trash cans dissolved in liquid substances, maybe a pink liquid substance. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, how are they not a terrorist organization? It's insane. Joe, I think the cartels paid off the feds, and I don't even know if they paid off the feds. I think they just went to them. It's like a mafioso type. So
yeah, it's just sheer power. Like, hey, you see what happened to those 8 other politicians that got shot in the head?
Yeah. Be like, listen, this is a good proposition for both of us. You get your media highlights with people who are not here that get illegally detained, and then you do your little pity patty parties, and we get clientele.
So speaking, so I think this is actually a great segue, and we could talk more about this story because this is actually somewhat related. But speaking of Colombia, one of the what's called people running for president over there on the Republican Party was shot multiple times. Colombian presidential hopeful shot in the head at a rally. This was just yesterday. Colombian presidential candidate remains in intensive care after he was shot 3 times, twice in the head, at a campaign event in capital Bogota. So he's currently in critical condition, but he's still alive.
Wow.
So we'll get an update on that likely tomorrow or in the next coming days. He might survive. He was only shot with 9mm. But the person that shot them, so Miguel, sorry, I don't know how to say Colombian names. I can't say that. Yeah, a 39-year-old senator was attacked while addressing supporters in a park on Saturday. Police arrested a 15-year-old suspect at the scene, the Attorney General's office said. Let's see, it went on to say footage shared online appears to show the moment when he was shot in the head, mid-speech, prompting those gathered to flee in panic. I have not seen the video, and I'm not going to look for it.
Tyler, say it with me. Uribe.
Uribe. Eureka! The 15-year-old suspect was shot. Wait, you'll love this, Joey. Well, why can't we do this in the United States more? The 15-year-old suspect was shot in the leg as police and security officers pursued him. So he tried to run and he got his leg blown out.
Wow.
Shoot him in the kneecap, bro.
Quick, kneecap him. Pop.
Yeah, and then you miss like 6 shots before you finally hit him in like the fucking big toe.
Yeah, right. But
they're probably aiming for center mass, and they just happened
Probably.
to strike him in the leg.
Well, he shot a fucking presidential candidate. Yeah, you're getting shot at.
Right.
But so they confiscated a 9mm off of him. So that's probably why the presidential candidate's still alive, because it was just 9mm. So he could live. That would be interesting. If he does live, I feel like that guarantees him the presidency. I don't know what his polling looked like before this, but
typically surviving assassination attempts does very well for people historically.
It does historically, as we had seen in our recent election.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, a crazy story I wanted to bring up, because I had seen that this had happened yesterday, and I was bringing up that story with the Colombian soldiers in the working with the cartels, and I thought this was interesting. So we'll give an update to this, but I don't know much about Colombia other than this. I just thought it was an interesting story.
I wonder if they're going to be able to get any information out of the kid to determine like who.
Yeah, it said no motive was found at the start, and then of course the opposition party has condemned it. Whatever else, Marco Rubio blamed the attack on leftist rhetoric, even though this is Colombia. So I don't know about the politics of Colombia, but that's what Marco Rubio said.
It's an interesting concept. I feel like a lot of radicalization is probably radicalization throughout, the world is caused by leftist.
Isn't Tyler great though? He looks up he finds these stories. He doesn't stay complacent and just look for what's hot in the media now. He's looking for all types of stories people ain't covering.
Did you see the title I put, TJ? Or TJ and Joey?
Did I see what?
The title I put for the show today says the LA riots are being set up to distract people.
Distract them from what?
All kinds of things going on in the world, dude. Like maybe that omnibus bill that everyone was complaining about fucking 2 minutes ago.
Dude, the whole last week has been like one story after another, and it goes back to what I've been saying about like the left can't really latch on to any of the actions that are being taken or whatever. I don't know. It feels like society as a whole can only focus on, whatever news event for 24 hours. We had the Ukraine drone bombing. Then we had the response from Russia. Then, oh God, I was thinking about it earlier. And
well, what about like literally any of the James O'Keefe videos that have been put out recently? Like those lasted like 12 to 24 hours each too. So
yeah. Oh, but then we had like the Elon Trump blow up. So you were forgetting.
And then now they're friends again, by the way, because he's been retweeting all their shit all weekend. So
perfect.
JD Vance and Trump, JD Vance and Trump have been getting all their shit retweeted by Elon all weekend. Because oh no, now the left is attacking Trump and there's riots. We got to come together again, guys.
You know what? I really believe that what we were saying on your show the other day, man. I do believe it was some sort of distraction.
There's some fakery, some fuckery.
That was their first distraction attempt, was the Elon Trump thing, and then they realized perhaps things were getting like they were giving too much momentum to the left or whatever, and they're like, let's pivot.
Let's pivot.
So they pivot to ICE raids in LA.
Would it really? I got a question though. Would it disappoint you guys if you found out, like, because this is what some people go through. Some people go with the attitude of, I want to, give the left back exactly what they've done to us, and I believe, this is part of the cycle. Is the reaction is always, every time something happens, there's a bigger reaction, and that causes the hate for that other side in 15 years. It's a typical we fund the terrorist type of shit that they do in the Middle East. So I know some people get upset when they basically do the comeback like this. So how would you feel to know that, like, if the Trump administration was basically doing what they do and they're setting up false flag scenarios to be distractions to essentially pass through the stuff so the media doesn't pay attention to it? Like, it's actually, see, the way I feel about it though is like most of this stuff is actually beneficial to the country, unlike some of the stuff that the left does.
Absolutely.
I see what you're saying. So you're asking if there is the whole like look over here so I can steal your watch over here kind of a thing, and you're asking if if the Trump administration is using that tactic.
No, I'm saying if you found out that they were, would that upset you?
I don't know, because that's the conversation we've been having. It's similar to what we've been talking about, right? Like, we're at a point now where each side is justifying escalation because the other side is escalating.
I want to answer. Let me answer something that Flair brought up a couple of. Well, he said, "What happened to the mafia?" You know what happened in the mafia? They had a battle with the government, and the government won. Now the government's the mafia. You
Yeah.
ever notice with the mafias, you go on the mafia stuff and like, listen, kid, this is our turf. You gotta pay the money and get off. You know what happened is the government told the mafia, hey,
The
listen,
real
kid,
mafia.
you're on our turf. If you want to do business here, you gotta pay a tax. And there was a little clash, and the government won because they have more resources
Yep.
and the power of the law. You see, that's all laws are, man. Laws are just they put these things on the books just so they can go after people when they need it. They
Well, and
because
people love to pick and choose what laws they follow and which ones they don't, right? They'll sit there and break laws all day, but then you break one and they're like, "Oh, hey, you're breaking a law." And it's like, "Well, what about the fucking 5 laws you were bragging about breaking last week?"
the law is selectively enforced. Like I don't know what to do about that. There's not really much you could do about that other than elect honorable people, which we know is not going to happen. So like this is why I don't like to have too many laws on the books. Like there. Because it's tough. This is what they do. You know, something like the Patriot Act. They could really, if they really wanted to, they can decide to go after all of us for anything.
Yeah.
Because it just anything that they deem harmful to the sanctity of the country, some generically vague thing,
National security.
Yeah, they could be like, well, Tyler's talking about a presidential candidate getting shot, nobody else is. So he's harmful to our country. We're gonna go throw him in the gulag, and we're gonna take his glasses off too, so he can't see.
I can still see without him. Fuck you.
We're gonna shave his head and finish the
They're
job
not that
Mother
thick.
Nature's trying. No, I'm kidding. Joey's right. That's why I think the feds are tyrannical and illegitimate. Yes, I agree.
All right, so we got about let's see, we got about 15 minutes left of the show. Joey, are you doing your show today?
Well, I wouldn't. If I'm doing your show, I better be doing mine, or else that's not going to be a good look.
Okay. Well, I was gonna rate. I'm gonna rate out to Thoughtcast today. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, I haven't rated out to him in a while, and he's been doing pretty good right now, dude. He's got like 50 people watching.
Nice.
But let's move to this next story. I told everybody that I would give an update.
It usually ends around the same time. Right? When he rated me that one time, he was like 20 minutes after you ended.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh well,
maybe you can suggest him to rate me again.
We'll see, Joey. But anyway, so I have to give an update to the story, guys. Something tragic has happened. Greta Thunberg, she's been kidnapped by the IDF.
We knew it was going to happen. We knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah, this was the most likely thing to happen. So essentially what happened, the short of the story is Greta Thunberg was going to go to Gaza. She was bringing a bunch of aid. There was about 12 people aboard the boat. Well, the boat got intercepted over the weekend, and all of the members on the boat were detained. That's it. That's the story. We were making jokes about how it could escalate, or like what would happen if, she actually got through the blockade and all kinds of stuff. But that was never going to happen. Israel's not letting it happen. Israel reasserted that it's against their law to break the blockade, whatever. Greta Thunberg claims that it's unlawful to have the blockade, whatever. Both sides, she said, whatever. Israel has the guns, they don't. Israel, detained them, and Greta Thunberg was releasing videos like, "Oh my God, they kidnapped us."
Yeah.
Silly.
So Israel intercepts aid boat bound for Gaza with Greta Thunberg, other activists on board. An aid boat carrying environmental campaigner Greta Thunberg and other activists was intercepted by Israeli forces that was safely making its way to the shores of Israel late on Sunday. Israel's foreign ministry said Israel's defense minister has vowed to prevent the ship from reaching the Gaza Strip. The passengers are expected to return to their home countries, the Israeli defense minister said on social media. So they're just going to get deported. They're all going to get deported. A big whoop.
Right. It's
big.
It's just a big publicity stunt to make Israel look bad because they're able to say, "Oh, she was disappeared, or she was kidnapped, or like, no, you were arrested for like."
Yeah, it's what we said when we were talking about it before. Like, no matter which way this was going to go, like this was going to go bad on Israel. Like that, she knew that this was only going to be bad for Israel, no matter what happened. So she was just trying to do it for the publicity.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
She's probably super upset that she's missing these riots.
Oh, super upset. Yeah. Well, the riots aren't really her thing. Immigration's not her thing. It's got to be a climate riot.
Well,
a climate or a Gaza riot.
Dude, she's just gonna pivot to the next thing.
We'll see. We'll see.
She should start yelling at that volcano that erupted.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
The ancient.
Let's see. Defense Minister of Israel Katz had said earlier Sunday that Israel won't allow anyone to break the country's naval blockade of Gaza, which he said was aimed at preventing Hamas from importing arms. Sure it is, buddy. I have instructed the IDF to act so that the Madeline flotilla does not reach Gaza. Let's see. I will say this clearly. You should turn back because you will not make it to Gaza. So let's see. Greta Thunberg is currently on her way to Israel, safe and in good spirits. Where did it say? I'm looking for Game of Thrones actor Liam Cunningham was initially believed to have been on the Madeleine too, but he did not take part of the voyage after helping load the vessel before its departure. So he only helped to load it. He didn't go on the journey.
That fits his Game of Thrones character.
He foresaw winter coming.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where is it?
What's crazy is that they're like, hey, we're gonna sail to Gaza, and Israel's like, hey, you guys probably shouldn't do that. Like, we aren't gonna let you do that. And they're like,
Yeah,
we're doing it anyway. And then the consequence of taking that action happens. And
hello, actions meet consequences.
yeah, but it's like they announced they were leaving. They announced that they were not going to let him in, and then they arrive and they're not let in. Okay, like,
Right.
knew this was going to happen.
And then what's called? We don't really need volume for this, but I'll play this clip a little bit. So this is a video of the boat actually being boarded by the IDF. And it's all the members are. Of course, they have to make it as hard as possible for the IDF. They all go sit inside.
I mean, I feel like having everyone in one centralized location is
It's good and bad. I mean, when they're all cramped together, it's hard to keep an eye on one individual person at a time.
Sure.
I am being told that TJ should check his Discord.
Why?
I'm being told that we should buy TJ that headset I sent you this morning.
We should.
Can I? You know, TJ, how do I buy something for someone using Amazon? Can I just I'll just get it.
They get it add it to their wish list. And I think you can send it.
You have a wish list on Amazon, TJ? Make a fucking wish list.
Make a wish list. I'll get on it.
Make a wish list. No, do it. I'll buy it for you right now if you just do it.
Well, I mean, I'm in the middle of the show. I'm not going to be trying.
I can do things in the middle of the show. I was thinking about playing my fucking.
You already have your phone out,
TJ. In the middle of this show. I was I wonder if I can get away with playing a game while I do this show. See how good I am.
Wait. Here. Okay, this is the part I wanted to play. So here.
How dare you?
Timber, and I am from Sweden. If you see this video, we have been intercepted and kidnapped in international waters by the Israeli occupational forces or forces that support Israel.
So I have a theory on that video. Like I think I saw it on X, and then I saw somebody. It
was pre-recorded,
right? And so, was she doing you pre-record it and then you set it to go out at a certain time, and then you just keep going in and postponing
that, or she sent it to someone somehow?
But how is that person going to know? She just sends a "they're here" text, and then that person knows to post her video or whatever.
I don't know, or maybe right when the boat was pulling up, she sent it or something.
Right.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, the way she says, if you are hearing this, she says something like, "If you are hearing this, then that means we've been
intercepted and kidnapped."
Yeah. And so that shows me that it was
Can governments kidnap people, or is that just no matter what, a government taking someone is just detained? You're just detaining someone.
Or being arrested, or
government can kidnap people all the time.
Well, yeah, but officially it's not kidnapping.
That's law. Well, officially by who? Their standard?
Exactly. So officially, governments never kidnap anyone.
Just officially, there's never any election interference.
Well, okay, so we're going to move on to the last couple stories. We're going to talk Russia, Ukraine. I think this is part of the stuff that they're trying to distract from. So we'll just go into these real quick. So Ukraine claims to have damaged Russian fighter jets in a nighttime raid. So yet another raid deep into Russia, 400 miles from the Ukrainian border, deep into Russia. They're doing another drone attack on Russian fighter jets. This is like very, very early reporting, so we don't even know exactly what was carried out or what the extent of the damage is. Just that the attack happened, but it was deep within Russia. And then we have few other stories talking about Russia, Ukraine. So we'll get more on that. I just wanted to bring that up because that happened recently. But we also have Ukrainian drone barrage targets Moscow as Zelensky demands accountability from Putin. So they also sent in 10 Ukrainian drones that were shot down on their approach to Moscow overnight. So they sent in 10 drones to go and assault Moscow. I don't know what the target was.
Your optic drones?
Let's see.
Optic blast.
So they were uncrewed aircraft attacking Moscow were among 67 Ukrainian drones shot down overnight. So there were 10 that attacked Moscow, but there were 67 total overnight.
Wow.
So again, so the I don't really want to go into the story because, like, whatever, more war stuff. He said, she said bullshit. I have another he said, she said bullshit story about the Ukraine war. The reason I want to bring it up is, like, clearly this shit is escalating. And there's no end in sight. Look, we have this story from CNN. Russia is now claiming that they have advanced deeper into Ukraine and have taken more land. So following, the past, over the weekend. So over the weekend, while all these riots are going on, Russia's advancing deeper into Ukraine. No, who's talking about it? Tim didn't make a single video about it today. Russia is advancing deeper into Ukraine. How does this bode for peace talks?
Does that make you think that Tim isn't saying something on this story because he's unaware of it, or because he's trying to?
I think, honestly, looking at Tim's recent videos, I think Tim isn't doing his own research at this point. I think Tim is getting fed stories from someone, and, like, whatever the hot topic is what he's pulling up. Because, like, he pulled up a fucking story talking about Hassan being at the protest. He wasn't even at the riots. Oh no, Hassan was at immigration protest. I don't give a fuck, dude. Why not talk about Ukraine? Or he made a video about the Greta Thunberg story, at least. Like, I feel like there's a lot of other stories you could be talking about.
That story is kind of like in that same vein. Like, it's not really that important.
It's not that important. And then, like, he posted 3 videos today about the LA riots. And one of those videos was his hour-long live stream. We talked about it for 45 minutes, and I feel like we covered most of the riot. Like, I don't know. I feel like Tim could be focusing on other things.
You bring up the Greta Thunberg
story. There's a million stories that you could make a video on.
That's what I mean. Like, there's no reason to have 3 videos on the same topic.
Yeah,
well, I don't know. It's affecting our country more than many of the other stories.
I don't think the riots are affecting our country that much.
Yeah, I mean, if I can make a surmise,
Trump's birthday.
These LA riots are probably. I mean, listen, obviously they're bad, but, like, they're making it seem like the whole city of Los Angeles is just engulfed in flames, and it's probably just like a 2 or 3 block stretch, is my guess.
Well, that's what I told. So again, TJ, that's why I don't think it's affecting the country that much. It's just being publicized because everyone's talking about it right now, because it's popping off a little bit more than usual. But Joey, before you joined, I told TJ, looking into the story, I was looking at the Los Angeles scanner because we all over here in California, we have scanners active all the time because there's people that can have jobs literally listening to the scanners of police and then going and reporting on it because the crime happens so frequently here and they don't catch nearly all of it. And I was looking at the Los Angeles scanner because obviously they're covering the riots, being the scanner, and someone was asking about a certain fire in a certain block. And they're like, which day and which fire? Because car fires happen on that block daily. And it's like, oh, okay, well. and then they want to say that the riots are caused by Trump. And it's like, no, California is regularly a place of chaos. It's just popping off a little bit more than usual because ICE is there.
Yeah. And then when you have, how many people live in the greater LA area? Like how many, like fucking plus 10 plus 15 million type shit, like in the New York metropolitan area, which they consider parts of Connecticut and New Jersey. There's like 20 million people, and it's like you get that many people congregated in like a 7 mile span.
Joey's right. It's 18,584,000 is the current estimate for greater Los Angeles.
That's what I figured it would be around what the greater New York area is. So, like, you get that many people congested in like a 10-mile radius, you're going to see some shit happening. But, like, it's still low odds. Like, I know people would be like, I don't want to go to New York. I'll walk those streets and get shot. And it's like, you probably won't. There's a good chance you won't. Like, a very good chance. As long as you don't go to the Bronx or, like, like Red Hook, Brooklyn, or some shit.
Right.
Like you'll be all right. Just don't go to these. Just ask Joey Canoli where not to go, and I'll tell
But
you.
anyway, I want to rate out to Thoughtcast. Joey, you need to go get ready for your show. Let's do closing remarks from everybody. Joey, where can we find you? Closing remarks. Anything you want to say before you go?
Well, if you're new here, you can, and you want to continue to watch me in my Pokemon shirt talk about these subjects, here's the link that you can click on. And you could also stick around for Thoughtcast, too, because he's also a brilliant man. So
he's going to be talking about other news stories. I believe he was talking about the riots and other stuff today. But he, like Joey said, he's another really good news show if you want to check him out.
Me and Tyler seem to find really, really good, solid people on this website. So we'll continue doing that. So you guys don't need to just listen to the voices in your head at night. You can listen to other people talk.
Exactly. Well,
All
thank
right.
you, Joey.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Go check out Joey Outworld Live if you don't want to check out Thoughtcast. And then TJ, where can we find you? Let me get your banner up here. Let me switch you over. Boom, and go over here. And bam. TJ, follow him at Tarek Reigns on X. Soon to have an actual microphone.
Hey, coming up in the world.
Coming up in the world.
Yeah, I'll hit up Joey with that wish list, and we'll see where we get going.
All right. Well, where can we find you? Closing remarks. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, just if you wanted to follow me on X, we could yell at leftists together. I do think that the LA riots is a preview of more to come. And so just keep your head on a swivel, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself, take care of your family.
Hell yeah. Always a pleasure to have Joey and TJ on. Have a great rest of your day, TJ. TJ, did you check your DMs?
Yeah.
Is there anything you're doing later today?
Possibly, but I haven't.
You don't want to say anything yet?
Well, I mean, I said that I'm free, but I didn't get any reply back yet, so I don't want to preemptively.
Tune in to the Quiet Part Pod later. You could see a familiar face, maybe.
Potential guest appearance.
Potential guest appearance. It depends. But anyway, thank you, TJ. Thank you, Joey, for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the solo camera. Thank you. Great show today, guys. Had a lot of fun. Check me out later. I'm gonna tune in to I'll watch Thoughtcast, maybe Joey. Probably go back and forth between the two. And then I'm gonna tune in for the Quiet Part Pod. I want to watch Timcast today. He's having on Michael Malice, so I'll be tuning into that. And then after all of that, if I don't decide to watch After Dark, I will probably play Lords of the Fallen. Or if I feel like doing a premium stream, I might play South Park. We'll see. But anyway, you guys head on over to Thoughtcast. Let them know I sent you. And you guys have a great rest of your Monday. Stay safe out there. And be sure to check things out. Don't always believe the first story you read or first story you hear. Don't always believe everything I say either. Check into it. Peace out, guys. Have a great day. Bye. Where's the outro, damn it? I sent everybody over there and I didn't have the outro ready. Outro. Play. Goodbye. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video today. If you thought that was a great video, great live stream, great whatever you were watching, make sure you hit that like, thumbs up, whatever you're watching, hit that follow, subscribe, and if you really want to support me, you could always share the video and comment down below. But thank you guys so much. Make sure you follow on Rumble, YouTube, and X. Thank you, and peace out.